What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have a really good video. When I was starting out as a business owner, I didn't know the definition or the difference between revenue, cash flow, profit. Now, in this video, I'm going to explain the difference between all of them, which one is more important, and which ones you should be looking out for your specific business. First, I'm going to give you a quick definition of each one. Revenue, cash flow, profit. Revenue means basically sales. All the sales, everything that you sell. So revenue is going to give you a really good picture of your sales, marketing, advertising strategy. Cash flow. Now, cash flow is basically how much cash is going in and out of your bank account. Now, I put cash in quotations because obviously it's not all cash. Cash means, that's one thing I was always confused. You know, might seem pretty obvious to you if you know what cash flow is, but it's obviously not just cash. It's just deposits that are going into your bank account, basically your liquidity in the business. Profit is exactly what that is. You know, profit is how much you make after expenses and everything you have in your business. So now let me tell you, the biggest question that I always had was, how is revenue different than cash flow, right? You would think that on a regular business, let's say like a restaurant, you know, if you sell a burger, that money goes in. So if you sell a burger and the money goes into your bank account, there's no difference between revenue and cash flow. But let's say, with the same example, you own a restaurant that you also do catering events, and you sell an event for $1,000 that's going to happen in a year from now. You sell it in 2022, but the cash doesn't go in until 2023. So now, the reason why knowing the difference between these two is so important is because there are a lot of businesses that you are selling way ahead of time, or people pay you on net 30, which means after 30 days, net 60s after 60 days, net 90s, which is after 3 months. And that can really affect your business. And so you have to know what kind of business you have. Like I said, if you have a restaurant, there's not going to be much difference between these two. But if you're, for example, in the wedding industry, in the entertainment industry, and people are booking out events and things ahead of time, and you're only taking a deposit, now your revenue might be high, and you might think that things are going well, but they're not hitting your bank account until 6 months from the day that you sell, or a year after the date that you sell. So that's why I want to go over these three. Which one is more important? A lot of people think that revenue is more important, the most important one, because it gives you a picture of how much you sell. But this is the key, right? If you're selling $1 million, right, a year, but out of those $1 million, only $100,000 goes into your bank account for that year, and you need $200,000 a year to run your business on expenses, employees, materials, equipment, and all that, your business may not survive unless you take out loans. And if you're not able to take out loans, then the business is just not going to survive. So in a business where you have to book out, like I said, for example, the wedding industry, if you don't manage your cash flow, no business can exist without cash flow. And you have to know that number, right? What does it take your business to run healthy each month? If you have $10K in expenses, you have to have more than $10,000 in cash flow per month in order to have a healthy business, in order to survive. Now, yes, revenue and sales is a great way to grow your business, but it doesn't help you run the business, if that makes any sense, right? Now, I know I believe in profit out of this picture right now, but this is the truth about profit, right? So a lot of people get really focused on revenue. Some other people get really focused on cash flow. Now, you also have to remember that at the end of everything, you want to be left with a profit, because the profit, whether it's just yourself or you have investors, everyone needs profit at the end. Let's say you're selling $10 million, and that looks great. That looks amazing. You're cash flowing, let's just make this an even number. Let's say you're selling $12 million, and you're cash flowing, this is in a perfect world, you're cash flowing $1 million per month. So this is great, right? You're making $12 million, sounds amazing. You're cash flowing $1 million, but your net profit is $1,000 a month. And trust me, these numbers may seem like they're off, but they're really not. I mean, you could be negative for all you know on a company this big. So sales are good, cash flow is good, no profit. You have $1,000. Or even worse, let's just make this negative 50K, because you're not monitoring your profits. Now, this is a whole nother video that I may be able to do, but you should know how profitable you are in your business, right? So if anything, I would work backwards. No matter what business you have, look at your services, look at how much you're profiting, then look at how much it costs you to run your business. That includes employee cost, which is labor cost, cost of goods sold, whether it's services or you have a product, fixed costs, variable costs, all of that plays into your cash flow. How much money, you need to know that number. How much money do I need every single month to make sure my employees are taken care of, to make sure that everybody's paid, all the utilities are paid, everything in the business runs healthy. Know that number and know that that's what you need as cash flow. Because then when you know that number, you know this number, then you know this number, then you can go back into sales. And let's say before you were asking for a 30% deposit, but the 30% deposit doesn't meet the needs at the cash flow. Now you raise that deposit to 50% deposit. Now instead of getting on accounts that are net 90s, maybe you do net 30s. So that way it helps your cash flow. So again, I would say focus on this first, then this, and then this, right? You could have a very, very healthy company if you're at the 25% profit and let's say you make 25K. I'm so sorry, 25K, and then your cash flow is 100K, and then this is, let's say $1.2 million. Sales are 10 times pretty much lower. The cash flow is 10 times lower, but your profit is, it's a whole nother world, right? And this way, your company's running healthy, you're making money, and you're selling. This number, at the end of the day, in my opinion, in most businesses, most important thing is profit, second is cash flow. Video got cut off there for a second. But yes, there's a lot of people that swear by cash flow, but cash flow is very important. I do believe that cash flow is really important because it can solve a lot of your problems, right? So what you can do, I'll give you an example. If your cash flow is $1 million a month, there's a lot more things that you can do with that could possibly be better than 25K profit, right? And I'll explain this just so you know the difference and you're not just, oh, cash flow is the best, oh, cash flow is the most important, or oh, sales is everything, or profit is everything. You have to know the difference. The difference is you have to know what's gonna be beneficial for your business, for your industry, and obviously for yourself, if you're the sole owner or if you have partners, what's better for your partners. So yes, so back to the example. If you have $1 million a month in cash flow, it can allow you to do a lot more than what you would be able to do with 100,000, which in this case could be, getting more inventory, expanding your services, investing, getting a bigger place. It's so many different options. And then in this way, then you are able to go back, sell more, increase the cash flow, and then at the end, solve your profit issues. But until then, unless you have a very good idea of what that means for your business, you have to know that you need to get these numbers down packed. Well, this needs to be known Because if not, if you're only talking about this, then there is no goal. This should be the goal. I don't know what I'm writing, but this should be the goal, right? Profit is the ultimate goal. Cash flow is very, very important. Revenue is last. Don't let anybody trick you by telling you revenue is the number one thing. Revenue solves nothing. Cash flow solves a lot. Profit is your bottom line. Profit is what you bring home. Profit is what makes people happy. Now, the reason why a lot of people say cash flow is because an entrepreneur, like a pure breed entrepreneur, they're more obsessed with growing the company and just scaling than the profit. You know, a good entrepreneur will tell you, they'll be broke for years just to grow the company. And that's why they tell you cash flow is the most important thing, because they want, the more cash flow you have, the faster you can scale a company. If you stay down here, you can have a regular business, might not be able to scale as fast, but you'll take home. And this basically, profit, if you figure out your profit, you have good profits, you have decent cash flow, decent revenue, that's like a regular business, small business. Cash flow it becomes more and more important when you want to grow companies for bigger companies. Hope that makes sense. Hope you guys actually, if you stayed all the way through, I'm hoping that you can use this information for your own business, your own industry. Make sure that whatever it is that you're planning on your business, it relates to your industry. It's very important to relate to the industry. Know how people are paying. If you're waiting for people, if you have to wait for people to pay, that's all important on these two. And again, I tell everybody, figure out what your profits, work backwards, and you'll make your life a lot easier, a lot less headaches. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.